That is right. Unstructured Ramblings is back for term 3 after the whole of Easter off. The whole of Easter was 5 weeks. It was too long, I think, in my opinion. I'm not sure about the other two.
Not long enough.
Not long enough. I felt it was a bit like a summer holiday rather than a study period. However, I'm sounding a little bit serious.
Period. We're celebrating the crucifixion of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ.
Who? Oh, Stan. No, in all seriousness, we have a message to... I'm not even going to call them fans, enemies of ours, Gould and Kerwin. Have you heard of them? Have you ever heard of Gould and Kerwin?
I think we need some sort of evil empire background music as well.
Well, I mean,
coming in there.
You put Henry on the spot there, and he's not professional enough to be doing that.
No, I mean, I just want to address the serious point that they are not good.
No.
They cannot do radio.
Yeah, they just sit in here.
They sit in here, play around, mess with the jingles, and we've had enough, basically. And if I asked one of you, is it war between us?
Yes! 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 Yes!
I'm
there can
sick
only
of
be
it.
one victim.
The answer's yes.
I am sick of it. It's snowing outside or raining, one of the two. We don't care. We'll see you out there 10 minutes after the show.
We are literally talking fight to the death, like Tim has suggested on Facebook.
Anyway,
shirts are coming off, fists are coming out as well.
I've got to move on because I'm boiling over with anger. James from Roots has messaged in, our favourite James. We don't know who he is. We'd wish he'd come into the studio sometime, but
He's been listening since the first show. I love James from Roots.
James says, already listening, good luck with your new time. So thank you very much to you, James.
There's a lot of conspiracies around James from Roots, though.
There is. We're not 100% sure.
People thinking James from Roots is simply a pseudonym, and that
for a man who might be sitting in the office next door to us.
Maybe. We'll
have to see. We will have to see on that. However, just to let you know today on the show, if you haven't been on Facebook or Twitter, please check out our video, which we've done. We're getting more technically minded now, and we have introduced the show in that way.
Technically minded meaning we made it on Snapchat.
We did on Snapchat, and
I've learned how to internet as well.
Yeah, which is an achievement for Connor. And also, so don't forget to get involved in the conversation today by messaging us, as James has just done, by clicking the contact tab, putting in your name and your message, and also tweeting us at Raw Ramblings on the old Twitter. But firstly, we're going to go to a quick song. But before we go into that, Connor and Jack are going to tell us about the new jingles we've got coming up on the show today.
By jingles, you mean features?
Same.
We haven't made any jingles.
It's soon to be
jingles, but quite a long way away. Well, what have we got new ones?
You made one of the
classics. We've got the classics. We've got Can Trump Trump Trump.
Yeah, but we want the new ones. What's coming up? What's the new
Tales
features?
from Down Under. That's the first new one. I have over the Easter holidays had developed a bit of an obsession with Australia.
And why's that, Jack?
Because I read a book by Bill Bryson about Australia, Australia is
a book.
I've discovered
a book.
Does anyone read books anymore?
Reading a book.
No one reads books.
What was I saying?
Apart from Jack.
Yeah,
Jack,
apart from me.
on.
Yeah, I've developed a bit of an obsession with a country that is truly extraordinary. So I'm going to be sharing a bit of that extraordinariness with the Unstructured Ramblings listeners, with you, dear listener. Yeah. Well, what's your new feature, Connor?
New feature is the Daily Mail headline of the week, where we, the Unstructured Ramblings team, dissect the most ridiculous Daily Mail headlines throughout the week.
Of which there is a plethora.
Oh, there are so many.
We have a message in already on Facebook.
Wow.
It's a little bit rude because it uses a curse word, and I don't think we need any of that. Actually,
we won't answer. We won't use that word.
But Sam says, "What the?" Fill your word. Are you talking about? That's just the message.
Sam, just to let you know, we've had a row with a fellow show who are basically questioning our radio talent. No, in all seriousness, we do like them. it's more of a joke.
Hang on.
I'm joking. We hate them. We hate their guts. Message in from Tim, who says, "Once I've stopped failing my degree, fancy coming on the alternative view for a showdown with Gould, pronounced Gold, and Kerwin.
I do rather like that idea.
Loser gets a strike." And a strike, for anyone who doesn't know, is something we get as presenters if we swear or do something wrong, like not playing songs
or not turning up to their show like the person that messaged in.
That's very true. Tim was not on the alternative view today because he was meant to be doing his degree, but I will let you know that he was actually on talk radio. talking to them. So he's got a lot of questions to answer to.
Can we just say to Tim and the world, we will fight Gordon Kerwin
We will.
anywhere,
Easily.
anytime.
He's not. All I'd say though to Tim is that he's not head of sport anymore. So
No, he's not.
Just to let him know.
His authority is gone.
However, we are going to go to that song now.
Yep.
5 minutes after we said we would.
Yes.
And it's actually Henry's favourite song, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
It's Peach Baby with Lost Soul. So make of that what you will.
Nothing. Rien. Zero. Do you not understand?
Absolutely furious.
We are joined now in the studio by
enemy.
Horatio Gould
We are
and Andrew
absolutely
Kerwin.
furious.
Look, don't bring
No.
your
Henry,
rubbish
Henry,
in
You
here.
don't come on our
quiet,
show
be
and
quiet,
make demands.
right. 1 second,
We set the
Henry.
tone here.
When he comes on our show, he's our little boy, he's terrified, he's pathetic, and as soon as he goes in there without us there, he chats all this gas. I was sitting at home, I was lying in bed, I was in my underwear, but I was like, no.
But you were still listening in, were you?
No.
He's still in his underwear.
Because you love our show. You love our show.
Gas from Big Rob Riley.
I'm sick of your rubbish.
Wait, he's still in here.
And he messages me earlier.
Couldn't get out the
Sorry,
bloody door.
can we all appreciate this? Best friend, can you share my show on Raw Speech? Oh, I've already done it. I've already shared it.
Come crawling
I've
back.
already shared it. Absolute.
Yeah, because he knows
makes me
we're
so
the
angry.
highest viewed thing on
Just-
Raw Speech.
Have any of our viewers heard of Gordon Kerwin? No, they haven't. No one has.
Do you have a video on your
Message in,
Facebook?
let's get the Gordon Cohen fans. Unstructured Ramblings. You guys make me sick.
Wow.
Oh, huge
That
change.
you are talking. Well, do you know?
Nice one, Henry.
You gotta
Nice one,
bring-
Henry. Because the head of Chat Speech strikes again. Where's your big blue jumper, mate?
Look, mate, I'm on the exec. I have you on. I have you on whip. I have you on whip.
No, you think that, but Sam,
I do.
Your star
Do
power.
you have a blue
without
jumper?
Without us, chat or speech means nothing.
Do you have a blue jumper?
No, I don't know. That means nothing, Henry. We are your star performer.
Henry's got a jumper that could fit both of you.
Yeah.
That's how big. That's how big this show has
I can
got.
fit the
It's no
exact in
It's
my
no
jumper.
That's how big
reflection.
he is, let's
It's
be
no
honest, come on.
reflection on his size. It's a relative show size. Okay.
Oh, mate. Oh.
Guys, I think we just need
Why so serious?
bit of calm. Let's sort it out diplomatically now, all right?
Yeah.
Tim Arstle has invited us on. I assume Bangers and Mash. I mean, your real feud is with Bangers and Mash.
Yeah.
we'll be
You guys
brutally
are
honest.
like a side thing.
Yeah.
We don't really care about it.
Oh, okay.
We're like the Lib
You guys
Dems.
haven't won any awards.
We're the Lib Dems. We're the Lib Dems, effectively.
Yeah, exactly.
And you are Labour, I assume.
Yeah,
Because you're
yeah.
into your whole, I'm socialist, I protest for free education.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah,
that's
that's
us.
you. So are we willing to go on Tim's show, Alternative View, and have it a show-off?
Yep.
And the loser gets a strike, apparently.
Oh, no, easy, mate. Easy, mate. We'll do
Well,
that.
we don't get
We're
strikes
radio.
in this show because we're professionals. So
Squares. I think that's what I heard. Squares.
it's all kicking off now. Absolutely kicking off. Right.
Yeah, all right, we'll let it off now.
And they're gonna head off.
See you guys.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Never come
cheers.
back.
Looking forward to
Good luck
more
getting out the door,
impromptu
Henry.
drop-ins.
This is great banter. It really is.
So you've heard it here first
You can
on
probably
Raw
hear them shouting
1251.
outside.
We
Yeah, you probably
apologise
can
for
actually.
that.
We
Yeah.
don't apologise.
No, I'm
No,
joking.
this
We're
was
ready for
We're
this.
a calm show, and that sort of.
No, we're not calm anymore. My blood is boiling.
There we go. Now, moving on now to our new features. And this week we have our first ever. Would you like to introduce it, Connor?
Daily Mail headline of the week.
And explain.
As we just get a nice gesture from. All right, bloody hell. But anyway, Daily Mail feature of the week. We are, our new feature, Daily Mail headline of the week, where we're just looking at the most ridiculous Daily Mail headlines of the week, which is quite simple, really.
not hard to find the ridiculous ones, is it?
I want to kick off with this paragraph, not headline, paragraph from the Daily Mail, which no punctuation in this. I'm just going to have a massive deep breath. Okay, are
Do
you
it
ready?
in one.
3, 2, 1. Dramatic moment. British Special Forces obliterate Mad Max-style ISIS car bomb with lethal javelin anti-tank missile as truck hurtles towards its targets packed with explosives.
Sounds like something
Longer
from Call
than
of
the
Duty.
I articles.
But
Yeah, that sounds like something from Call of Duty. I'm not sure that's something that really happened in the military. Are you sure this guy's not just playing Call of Duty and he's just like making headlines about what he's been doing?
he's realised he's quite behind on his work. He has to catch up pretty
So
quickly.
he's just going to make some stuff up.
But I'd imagine that's longer than the actual article, given
Yeah.
this. That
Yeah.
is-
I can't see them fitting that in a newspaper. That'll take up a whole page. Henry, have you got one?
It's worrying. My one is, I have two actually. One is on one's quite a nice headline, which from the Daily Mail is quite unusual. But the first one is, devout Muslim blasts Morrison's supermarket after labelling mix-up left him biting into a pork roll instead of a cheese and onion pasty.
Oh, I don't think that's unreasonable.
Well, no, it's not unreasonable from his part, but the Daily Mail seemed to be blaming him for biting into what he thought was a cheese and onion pasty, but it was instead pork, which obviously Muslims can't eat.
Yeah.
But for some
It's not
reason
really his fault for
but it's his
blaming
fault
Morrison's.
apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
because
go.
he's a devout Muslim. So that's
You
that's,
come
that's
over
the issue
here and you blame our Morrisons.
What is wrong with them labelling something wrong that certain cultures aren't allowed to eat?
That's fine, isn't it?
definitely
It's
their
totally not gonna. Yeah. Oh well. Right. Mine is less. It's less weird. It's just sort of quite interesting, really, which I thought fits the theme of the show.
Okay.
It's the headline: Hot property! ! Inverted commas, folding sauna, the size of a wardrobe expands to the touch of a button to add a heated room to any home. Would you buy one of these?
How much is it?
It is unsaid. They don't know how much it is, but it's a new thing, and it's 5 foot deep, 1.6 meters deep, and you can have. Oh, it's awesome! It's basically a wardrobe that becomes a sauna. Would you not want that?
So it's
in
like
the morning?
Narnia.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Would you not want that in the mornings?
It's
You
like
get out
a
your
really
shower.
middle-class woman's Narnia.
Oh yeah, very much.
Where
so.
was that? Sorry.
It was on the Daily Mail. It's
Was it?
I don't know who's-
whereabouts was the?
No, it's like something you could buy for your own home.
Does it exist? Has anyone
Yeah,
bought it
it's
already?
actually a thing that exists. They've made one, and you can get it, and it folds out, and it becomes a sauna, and you can have it in your office or in your home or wherever you want. And so can you imagine that? You get out of the shower, you've had a nice cooling shower, you get in the sauna, exfoliate your whatever it is.
There's only so much
saunas
you can
do.
do in the shower, Jack. All right, you're egging this on a bit.
No.
And my funny one was that wobbly cat and the cattle dog. Kitten born with brain disorder strikes up unshakable bond with an aging hound. And that was apparently in their first 5 pages in one of the papers, which sort of says their priorities, really, doesn't it?
It's when you my favourite was I used to read the Metro on my way to school in the morning because I'm a cheapo and I like free things. And so if you turned into the Metro, the front page would be something mildly quite an important story, something like that. But then if you open up to the third page, where normally you would carry in like the Times or the Guardian, you carry on with your really important story. But no, in the Metro, they'd have like cat saved from tree by fireman, and it was always that every day. It was some animal-based story. It was truly terrible. I don't understand why they did it, really.
They must have quite a lot of the same story if it's a cat getting saved from a tree.
So, do listeners now vote on this? This is the idea, isn't it?
Yes.
Can they vote on Twitter?
So there will be a poll up on the Twitter saying which of the Daily Mail headlines that you have just witnessed.
So it's the hot sauna, the man with the tank, and
the ISIS.
The ISIS Morrisons.
Or the Muslim. It's nothing to do with ISIS.
No,
it is.
The Daily Mail are
ISIS.
implying that it is.
We will be also getting Stanley in, who will give us his opinion and what he thinks will win that. And not only he'll give his opinion on that, and also he will give his opinion on another feature, and he will be giving his opinion on Rambler of the Week, which is another new feature we have
full of new features,
introduced. Moving on now to a requested song from Joe Wheatley and his new show, which is Chin Wagging, I believe.
It's on Sundays.
And it's on Sundays.
I don't know what time.
And Joe Wheatley is obviously our station manager, and he was our 200th follower on Unstructured Ramblings' Twitter, and therefore we will give him what he wants, a bit of Jennifer Lopez with Booty.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
That was Joe Wheatley's song request there. Moving on now to an old feature, a familiar feature of Donald Trump. Have we all missed Donald Trump over the holidays?
Yes! 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 Yes!
And don't forget, kids, he'll be the next US president.
Ow! I
I love China.
Jack, what's Donald Trump been up to?
Donald Trump. Oh my god, I've missed this feature because this feature gives me an excuse to keep up with Donald Trump that I otherwise wouldn't really have, and so that makes me it makes me very happy. Okay, Donald is the man, our one.
Oh, you're on Donald. You're on those terms, are you now?
Yeah, it's the Donald actually.
Oh, it's the Donald.
I've moved on
Sorry.
to the Donald. I've become a bit of a fan. No, I haven't. Don't worry. In his latest development,
as our head of
course,
news, you definitely can't endorse him.
No, I don't. Unfortunately, the Republicans have combined their talents to try and bring down Donald Trump.
Oh, yes.
Although it seems to have failed. In the fact that yesterday he won. He got a clean sweep of 5 out of 5 primaries.
Kasich and Cruz have tried to have that pact, haven't they?
Yeah, where they don't really stand against each other, and it just didn't work. And so they've tried to bring him down, but now Donald Trump says that he's now the presumptive candidate. I don't really know what that means. But
Kasich and Cruz can't mathematically win
the
they
want to try and get...
now, can they?
They want
a brokered convention, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ideally.
Gross domestic product.
Yeah, because they want Cruz to win, and essentially that means that Kasich is maybe going to be his vice president. I think that's the idea behind this. Maybe he'll announce it as his vice president, because Cruz says he's going to announce his vice president by Friday. So, but basically, from what I can tell, is by Cruz saying that we're going to work with Kasich to get Trump to not win and we'll win at the convention, it's essentially him bypassing democracy. He's going to say, I can't win through democracy, so let's just get rid of that, and I'll win through whatever means I can. It's just a little bit dodgy as far as I can tell. But the other thing for Donald Trump is, I've been looking on his website and I found the range of products that you can buy that are with Donald Trump's names on, and some of them are good. Ooh. Okay, so you can buy. Okay, you ready? When you come out of the shower in the morning, you like to smell a bit fresh. You like to smell like you've had a nice wash and things like that. Well, you can buy Donald Trump's fragrance.
What about for those of us who don't shower?
Then I was wondering what that smell was. So
that's really awkward.
Yeah. So if you come out of the shower in the morning, you can feel inspired by the fact that you've got Donald Trump's fragrance Success on. Success by Donald J. Trump.
How does it? Presumably there's a product description. How does it describe the smell of success?
I think it's like smell like the man himself would, or something like that. It's terrible. The website tries to look really like classy, like if you went on, I don't know, Hugo Boss's website. But it doesn't. It doesn't. You can buy Donald Trump natural spring water in case you need to in case you need to hydrate yourself with something that is just
with
a class above everything else.
Well.
Yeah. You can buy clothing and accessories, of course. We've seen the Donald Trump ties, which... did you see the thing? He went on Letterman a few years ago and he said, I think that we need to stop outsourcing our manufacturing to China and things like that. And then they brought out his ties and Letterman was like, do you know where these ties are made? And it was Thailand. So you can buy Donald Trump cufflinks, you can buy...
But these are all going to help to make America great again. I don't think you understand this.
But you can buy a wallet, which it looks really classy. It's a nice leather wallet, and it has Donald J. Trump written on it.
Nice.
That'll make you successful.
If you buy that, you are effectively saving the world.
And we not only saved the world, saved the banks, and saved the banks and led the way.
He will definitely be the next president.
He has eyewear. I could buy new glasses, and I could get Donald J. Trump glasses.
Do it
instead of Ted Baker.
Name dropping there. Oh, instead of my Ted Baker glasses that are really expensive.
That's not that posh. Okay.
Next thing you'll be telling us that you've got a girlfriend.
Okay.
There you go again, Jack. On about your girlfriend.
The best one, this is my favourite, is obviously you have all of Donald Trump's hotels and Trump Tower and Trump golf clubs, and there's about 100 different golf clubs, and there's the Aberdeen one, which got scrapped or whatever. You can also now go and visit the Trump Taj Mahal.
No way.
Do you want to know what it is? Can you guess what it is? If you had to guess what the Trump Taj Mahal is, it's not the actual Taj Mahal.
No.
No.
So if you had to guess what it was,
well, he does have the money to buy that.
If you wanted to.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. If you had to guess what it might be,
there must be some sort of temple in the US that he's created for himself.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Is it dedicated to him as well? So
no, not really. It's a casino.
Trumpism.
It's a casino in New Jersey.
It's definitely offensive.
The Taj Mahal is a casino in New Jersey. Bet you didn't know that. There you go.
No, I didn't.
Crazy stories from the world of Donald Trump.
What I'm interested in, touching back on his aftershave that you were talking about there, the smell of success.
Smell of success.
I would love to see the promotional video, because you watch on the television with like
perfumes
adverts, come on,
yeah.
and you've just got, it's always some sort of relation between an unreasonably good-looking man and some woman who looks like she's been crafted from a divine piece of marble or something.
Right.
But what would Donald Trump's be? It would just be him smearing himself in success.
Incredible. So Donald Trump is obviously, there's been a lot of thing that maybe when he becomes president, he's going to move to the centre a little bit, because obviously at the moment he's a little bit mental. So at the moment he says that he's not going to change, and his reason for not changing was, he said, I went to the best schools. I'm like a very smart person. I'm going to represent our country with dignity and very well. So
Very
the
good,
country
Donald.
is in good hands if Donald Trump gets elected,
Safe
which is
pair of
reassuring to know.
Moving closer to home with Donald Trump, he's been trying to reach out to university students, it seems.
You may not like what I say.
He's been speaking to the Tab, apparently. Jack, tell us more about that.
In a little press conference yesterday, Donald Trump was doing his classic. He was standing in the hallway of Trump Towers trying to look presidential. And a reporter from the Tab somehow managed to ask a question to Donald. And he said, what are you going to do about students having the problem of debt? And Donald Trump did what he always seems to do, which is he outlines a problem, spends about 5 minutes telling you that there's a problem, and then at the end of it just says, oh yeah, and I'm going to fix that. But he didn't really tell you how.
Fair play.
So he spent about 5 minutes going, yeah, students come out of thing, they got loads of debt, and that's a really big problem for our country. It sounded more like Obama, but
bizarrely
into Obama that did. But he didn't really say how he was going to fix it, just that he would. So that's again reassuring.
He was saying then, Jack, that the only way he would sort of do well is that he moved to the centre.
Yeah.
The only way it seems Donald Trump could move to the centre is that if a certain someone was his vice presidential candidate.
Would you be interested in being her vice president?
Would she be interested in being my vice president?
That'd be interesting if Bernie Sanders was his vice president, wouldn't it? That'd be quite a mix.
Yeah, I feel
a socialist fascist.
It's one of those things that's going to happen because 2016 has so far been slightly crazy.
Yeah.
And of course we can see that in the celebrity deaths.
Well, I mean, trying to sort of account for 2016 has just been a little bit like...
Yeah, Bernie Sanders feeling the burn. We've had...
It carried on there, Jack.
Like.
Apologise.
Did it? That's okay. Donald Trump, we've had Donald Trump. Who else have we had? We've had a few things weird happening. All the celebrity deaths, that's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is
message in, just to interrupt you
that's
slightly, from a perceived man called David, who I expect to be Horatio Gould, saying, get Gould and Kerwin back on. I want to hear some real comedy. Go away. We don't like you.
I really hope that was them now. If not,
I think we're going to need some. I think we're going to need some sort of Unstructured Ramblings censorship on here.
And just before we move on to that last feature before the song, where we will get Stanley on for the last segment of the show, tell us about Australia's stories, Jack.
Well, obviously, I've developed a bit of an obsession with Australia, and I think the first story of this new segment, which I'm going to go for now, is sort of sums up Australia for me. It's a little bit mental. Australia in 1967 lost its prime minister, like physically lost its prime minister, just gone.
Oh, he wasn't dead. He was just unaccounted for.
Unaccounted for.
Lost.
He went for a walk on the beach, and apparently maybe he must have gone for a swim, and he was never seen again. And most people in Australia, if you ask them, have no idea.
Oh, so they didn't lose him temporarily. They completely lost him.
They completely lost him. He's never been seen since. And this was in 1967. Outside Australia, nobody has a clue. Nobody's ever even heard of the Prime Minister of Australia.
No, most people haven't heard of Australia.
Yeah, Australia is a country it's a massive country. It's like a whole continent, obviously. It's 12th biggest economy in the world. Nobody hears anything about it. When was the last time you watched a news story where Australia was the main feature? Months. It doesn't happen.
I don't know.
It doesn't happen. You never hear about
Australia. I think even in Australian news,
Yeah.
they're kind of like, well, we won't really talk about Australia. It doesn't get much coverage.
Anything.
I
couldn't name an Australian politician.
No. You hear nothing about them. They have massive bushfires that consume places the size of Yellowstone National Park, and it just doesn't make our news.
No.
These are like natural
the only thing that ever
disasters.
does is if Liz Hurley's done something insane.
Can I say we got a couple of really funny messages in from David again. He says, "I ain't your Horatio, homie. Your days are numbered." But the best one is supposedly a message from Mrs. Big Rob Riley, which I expect is a reference to me, and it's actually loading at the minute. Nightmare, but I think it says something along the lines of, don't come home, son, send me Gordon Kerwin instead. On that note, any more stories from Australia?
No.
There we go.
That's my one story for the week.
Here is Drake with Wonder.
I'm George Galloway, and you're listening to Raw. It's raw, and it's fantastic. A banker, a Daily Mail reader, and a benefits claimant are sitting at a table
with 12 biscuits. The banker takes 11 biscuits and tells the mail reader to watch out as the benefits claimant is after his biscuit. Brilliant.
We're joined now in the studio by Stanley Dodd. Stanley, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Stanley is an absolute legend of Warwick and a legend of Raw. Stanley, tell us why you're such a well-known name on campus. Was it a certain presidential bid?
I wouldn't say I'm that well known.
You're blending in the background now, apparently, aren't you? So tell us, what year did you run then for president?
I forgot. It was my. Was it my first year? It was my.
In your first
year? Second year.
I mean, your second year.
So
That's
quite impressive.
It was last year. So.
And you weren't as successful, unfortunately, as Remington Spa was, but your campaign was better.
Thank
better.
You.
And in case you missed any of that, want to know more about Stan, there is a fantastic video on Facebook as to why he's not standing again. Moving on now to some more features, but firstly, have any of you wondered why so many celebrities have been dying in 2016? Well, I know I certainly have, because we've obviously had David Bowie, we've had Prince, we've had loads of people, and Jack is going to tell us exactly why so many celebrities are dying.
Yeah, so it's been a bit weird, really, hasn't it? David Bowie, Prince, all of them, and so the hashtag has started. I can't remember what the hashtag is. I think it's enough 2016 or something like that. But apparently we're in for this to stay. This is something that's going to carry on happening for forever, essentially. Right. Because apparently just the generation that started dying, for want of a better word, is the baby boomer generation. And so obviously there's suddenly a load more babies around, and so there's hundreds more celebrities than there were before, so just the chances of somebody dying are much higher than they were. And now apparently as well the generation that's dying now is the first generation where the media was really, really big, and so it's sort of suddenly spiked the number of deaths. So we're in for this to continue. So
it's sad times to come ahead.
Who knows?
I don't buy it. Well, I reckon there's an epidemic of some massive celebrity virus going on.
Well, you never know.
To be honest.
Maybe it's narcissism or something like that.
That makes too much sense.
Could be something.
You could be next then, Henry.
No.
Well, I am a BNOT.
I'm Nigel Thrift, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Warwick, and you're listening to Raw 1251 AM.
Just a disclaimer that Nigel is in fact now Sir Nigel and is not the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Warwick anymore. And a message in from the Grim Reaper allegedly says, Unstructured Ramblings is the reason why celebrities are dying. So thank you very much to Gordon Kerwin for that. Now, Connor, tell us what Nigel Thrift has been up to.
Well, this is the first Myths About Thrift for the new term, and we've got some crackers coming up.
Tell us.
Sir Nigel has recently entered a new profession: counselling inanimate objects. Business is not thriving, however. This is as about 2 weeks ago, Nigel received a scathing review from a pepper grinder who felt Nigel had only worsened his relations with his partner, a box of tissues. Nigel Rift, he called him.
Really?
Yeah.
And that obviously had a deep effect on Nigel, I assume.
Yes, and in order to escape the stresses of his fledgling clinic, Sir Nigel has now taken up giving speeches at the Church of Scientology.
Wow.
In fact, Nigel has proved that Scientologist's founder, L. Ron Hubbard, the science fiction writer, has... we're going to stop there, actually. Given the Church of Scientology's record for suing, I'm going to shut up now, and we're going to end Myths About Thrift.
There we go.
Now. And if anyone is liable to be sued, it is Nigel Thrift. Sir Nigel Thrift.
Were your Myths About Thrift for this week. Apologies, these were your Myths About Thrift for that week.
I'm Nigel Thrift, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Warwick, and you're listening to Raw 1251 AM.
Now we have our new feature, another new feature. You guys are in for a treat, and it is Rambler of the Week, obviously relating to the name Unstructured Ramblings, in case you didn't work that out, in case you're a bit slow. It is a Wednesday. Most people have a day off. If you do politics, you do anyway. My contender for Rambler of the Week is Naz Shah, who is the Member of Parliament for Bradford West. She was the person who beat George Galloway. I'll just say before I read this that Stanley, who's in the studio now, will be judging who he thinks Rambler of the Week is, and we only chose you, Stan, appropriately because you ramble quite a bit.
Yeah.
If you don't mind us saying.
Like, I am an expert in rambling.
He's more than he's a connoisseur in rambling. But Naz Shah, in 2014, so when she wasn't an MP, said she had a graphic image of Israel's the nation on a... I'll try and summarise this in a nice way. The headline was "Solution for Israel-Palestine Conflict," which, as everyone knows, and as she should, as a member of Parliament, that it's a very contentious issue to say the least. And her sort of idea for solving this, and bearing in mind she is an MP, was to relocate Israel to the United States. And in case you were wondering how that would be pragmatically possible, apparently the US has plenty of land to accommodate Israel as a 51st state, allowing Palestine to, quote, get their life and their land back. And apparently Israeli people would be welcome and safe in the US, apparently. So that is a rather bizarre claim from Naz Shah. And if you like that, Stan will give it a thumbs up later, or if he doesn't, he'll choose someone else. Who are the other Ramblers of the Week? Connor.
Well, I'd like to put forward Sir Bernard Ingham, who, for those of you who don't know, was actually an aide to the witch Margaret Thatcher back in the 19...
Technically speaking, yeah.
But while she was Prime Minister, he was an aide to her. And he has essentially refused to withdraw his comments of... I think it was a few years ago when he actually said this in a letter, but he described the Liverpool fans killed at Hillsborough as tanked-up yobs. And obviously the inquest has really come to a close after yesterday, and the conclusions that 96 were unlawfully killed. He was presented with this quote and asked to retract it, and he was just so obdurate and has now said no, still tanked up yobs. So well done, Sir Bernard. What? Sorry. So why is someone like that a sir?
Utterly ridiculous.
I'd
remove it instantly.
You're
socialist.
There's some sort of... I'm going to put one of my conspiracy theories forward here, so I might be up for Rambler of the Week next week, in fact. But what I'm going to say is, and I was making this argument, I can't remember who I was making it to, it was quite recent, but I think there is...
Nigel Thrift.
There is a definite right-wing bias towards who gets knighted in this country.
Ooh.
You were looking... Who was the member of Parliament recently who came out in the light of David Cameron's misdemeanours and said, on the left, they just hate anyone with a hint of wealth. They're all just jealous.
Yes, it was...
Who was that? He was knighted, and I have absolutely no idea what he's done to deserve it.
It was... I tell you why, though. I think you have a point in that a lot of the famous sort of right-wing politicians are knighted, but I do think that's sort of counteracted by the fact that a load of left-wing politicians just reject the knighthood in general. So obviously Tony Benn was offered a knighthood, George Galloway was offered a knighthood, not George Galloway, sorry.
George Galloway?
No, what's his name? Dennis Skinner's been offered a knighthood, people like that. So I think the problem is they don't accept the knighthood, but then that obviously means that every knighted politician is a Tory MP.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that personally.
Message in quickly from anonymous listener who says, I've never heard, it's going on again, I apologise, of Gould and Kerwin spelt wrong, and checking that I spelled that correctly, frankly, isn't worth my time. So someone clearly on our side. And George Galloway messages in allegedly and says, this show makes me angrier than the Iraq War. 1 million civilian deaths is nothing compared to the murder your show does to radio.
Can I just say on
You're telling me I don't want to be the mayor of London.
On that point,
I want to be a mayor for all Londoners, especially the Palestinians who have been so brutally murdered. And you know what? All of those Labour MPs who dared to go for Mr. Blair's do not know they have the blood of millions of Iraqis on their hands. When I'm mayor, students will travel for free. Palestinians will travel for free. Everyone will travel for free because socialism is the best.
Thank you, George.
All over the place.
Gather your breath. Gather your breath, mate.
My Rambler of the Week is a man...
I think he's won it. Sorry, are you still putting forward your original suggestion?
I think so.
Because you went off on one just a tiny bit there.
Apologies to George Galloway if he's actually listening in.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
We're looking at a bit of a long shot there.
My Rambler of the Week is a man who 4 years ago was dubbed the King of the High Street.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
Tell us
now
more.
his name is Sir Philip Green. Okay, and he is the man that until 1 year ago owned BHS, the British Home Store.
Oh, yes.
He sold it for £1 a year ago because it wasn't going very well, and now it's gone even worse. And now they've entered into an administration with their pension fund has a hold of £571 million in it, and
how much?
£571 million.
That's a hell of a lot of debt.
I would agree. He and in that £571 million, in the time that £570 million accumulated, Sir Philip Green took out of the company £560 million. So there's a little bit dodginess going on there. And he said this week that the way he's going to help to fix a problem which he admits is partially his fault.
It's partially his fault. Who would have guessed?
He's going to give £50 million or £70 million.
Oh, how noble of him!
Bloke.
What a top bloke!
He should be knighted as well.
Yeah,
to top the list.
But now he's been branded by a Conservative MP the unacceptable face of capitalism.
So what was his name again? Sorry, Jack.
Sir Philip Green.
Sir Philip Green. So
Stanley.
You
have your choice.
I know, right? Oh.
You have either Naz Shah, the Labour MP, who said that Israel should be the 51st state of the United States, and it would solve the Israel-Palestine conflict. Connor, remind him of yours in a sentence.
Bernard Ingham, who described the Liverpool fans at Hillsborough as tanked up yobs and has refused to withdraw it.
And Jack?
Sir Philip Green, who until 4 years ago was the king of the high street and has now left BHS with a £571 million pension hole.
It's difficult, I'd say. I mean, I really want to go with your tirade earlier. But seeing as
don't get me started. I'll go off again. No,
I think honestly, tank top yobs.
Really, it's disgusting, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
So Connor, you have the first point of the Raw Ramblings new point system.
And on that point
of a point,
can I just say that the background music whilst we were going back through the
was strangely,
it was unusually sensual for the type of for what we would describe it.
Urban bed. It was called.
There's a bed on there called Sexy. So
no, there's
sorry.
not.
When did my bed get on there?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's more like it. If we were doing an evening show, this would be
we'll
the
have a
sort
bit of jazz on afterwards and Frank Sinatra.
Oh yes, and you're listening to Raw.
Well, this is the late night show.
The student radio station for all of you out there, all you lovers. That's enough of that.
Yeah, I get that.
So Stan has
I don't think we're getting that contract anytime soon.
So Stan has gone with Connor's.
You just call him Sir Stan.
Well, he is Sir Stan. Well, he will be soon because he's another blooming right-wing Tory MP in the making. With that Jesus beard. Stan, tell us about the beard, because last term you didn't have a beard.
And now you have something it's quite
do you need to explain to you how a beard grows?
No.
Is that your whole point here?
Jacob needs to explain to him how a beard grows because he shaved all of it off. Sorry. Hashtag just saying. Anyway.
Well, so I mean, there's not much to say. I just wanted to shave it off. It's just happened.
But then you've let it go back.
What do you mean?
Yeah. No, he never had it in the first place.
Well, yeah.
How can it come back?
No, the beard, I mean.
Yeah, but it can't come back if he didn't have it in the first place.
No, he did. He had it term one, then term two, for some reason it went. And term three, he's back, and he's Jesus.
See, actually, I don't like having a beard. It's not very nice.
Rubbish.
You have one?
Well, because I just can't be bothered to shave it off, and when it gets this long, it's like it's going to take me an hour to get it all off.
Do you have a certain sort of curfew on your hair? Do you think, right, when it gets past, me boobs, that's it? Or is there like
I don't really have any, so...
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean,
where does it... How long does it go down to now? Just give us a sort of...
Oh, it's coming out the ponytail.
Oh, it's coming out.
Yep.
Wait, let me do a drum roll. Where does it go down to?
Oh, just below the collar.
You look like you're massaging your hair, like in one of those Pantene. Pantene always say
Paint like one of your French girls.
And Stan, when will too much be? So when will you pull that down and think, oh, that is too long, I'm getting a haircut?
I'll be honest, I did look in the mirror the other day and think, this is getting a bit long.
No!
Yeah.
I think that's good.
You are wrong!
I like it.
But it was just a little bit of an inkling.
If you can get it down to your waist,
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. You could have like proper big ponytail then.
It's fine the way it is.
It was an inkling, but like later on I was thinking, no, it's pretty good.
Would you ever dye it?
Yeah, I'd totally dye it.
What colour? Pink?
Please don't.
Can you dye the beard as well?
People we put off their meals, let alone sitting in exams.
Can you dye it like the flame on your car? That'd be brilliant.
Red and a bit of orange. That would be amazing to coordinate.
That would be extremely interesting.
I was thinking mainly blue though, bright blue, like the anime.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Ooh, yeah.
You could be like Sonic the Hedgehog as well.
I can stick it up in like a big bubble.
Yes.
Are you not someone then, Connor or Jack, who would like to grow a beard? Or would you
I would.
You'd like to possess that?
I've got the same problem as you do.
We're not very virile, are we?
No.
To say the least.
Also, when I grow a beard, it doesn't really show up. And also it's quite itchy.
Sorry, you've got a girlfriend,
really
you can grow a beard.
Yeah, I've got a girlfriend.
There you go, girlfriend.
Same old rubbish. Get a life, Jack.
Oh, Jack, you can eat chocolate now as well. This is the first time.
I know.
I bet he doesn't.
I've been
He's keeping thin for his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately coming to the end.
Unless Jack...
David, order! Miss Order!
That's what it's like with Gordon Cohen in
here. Order!
Connor, what were you saying?
Well, it's just a thing now, is it, that John Burko interrupts me?
Well, no, he's just when there's sort of 2 minutes, 2 minutes two, he has to...
Does Jack have anything else to say?
I don't know. No, he doesn't. No.
Not about a certain female who he's associated with.
What, his girlfriend?
Oh, his girlfriend.
Oh, has he mentioned that
there he goes again.
Classic.
I don't know.
That is unfortunately all we have time for. Don't forget we were joined by Stan this week.
Who are you? I've never heard of you. Nobody in Europe had ever heard of you.
Sorry, Stan, no one's heard of you.
Especially in Europe.
Especially in Europe, apparently, according to Nigel Farage. No, but seriously, Stan, thank you very much for being on the show and for giving Connor exactly...
When will you be running for president again?
No.
No. Okay.
No, is that an exclusive for Raw 12:51 AM that you will not be running for president?
It is. You can quote me on that.
I wanted to be your campaign manager.
You have no idea how many people have said that they want to be my campaign manager.
He has a team. One in every residence. One in every house in Leamington. MI5-esque. Now, unfortunately, that is it for another week. We will see you next week from 3 to 4 on Wednesday, an all new time. I think people prefer this time. We certainly prefer this time.
Yeah, we do.
And we hope the listeners prefer this time. We promise to do more social media like today, where it's fair to say, we're basically famous now. We've had a couple of views.
It's gone viral, I would say.
And before we go, a message. Someone says, "Hello, Unstructured Ramblings" from Anonymous, and this is from Gordon Cohen. The final thing I say on it, they say, "Don't forget to mention the Radio Clash on Tim's show." So next time Tim, which is on a Wednesday, has Alternative View, or
I'm not
the
sure
Alternative
Tim meant
View.
for us to actually take this up.
Well, I hope. Well, he's opened a can of worms here.
Yep.
But we will be facing off to Gordon Cohen. But until then,
before you leave us, can we just mention our poll that's going out on Twitter?
We can. We will be having
for Daily Mail headline of the week.
Yes.
Vote on Twitter. It's going out in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Probably,
and we will have about 6 hours
which
to vote
I
on that.
Probably won't.
So please vote on that for your Daily Mail headline of the week, and we will put it out on social media via a video. Methinks the next song is a surprise for Connor. It's a very good cover, and it's Bastille. We Can't Stop.
Oh.